Welcome to the Sci-Fi Codes channel. Have fun listening to this story. Don't forget to subscribe. With the subscribe button, Chapter 1. The Galactic War That Humanity Never Knew. In the vast reaches of the galaxy, a brutal, unending war had raged for millennia. Two ancient, powerful civilizations, one relying on superior technology, the other wielding mysterious psionic abilities, had been locked in a struggle for dominance, clashing in battles that spanned entire star systems. The Zorgon Empire, cold and calculating, saw themselves as the natural rulers of the galaxy. Their fleet, an intimidating array of warships equipped with lethal technology, struck fear into all who encountered them. Against them stood the Phantoms, a race shrouded in mystery, using powers that defied conventional understanding. While the Zorgons wielded weapons, the Phantoms controlled minds, bending reality to their will. Earth was unknown to these civilizations, dismissed as a mere primitive outpost with an equally primitive race. For eons, the galaxy's superpowers overlooked humanity, ignoring their slow crawl into space. The world known as Earth and its inhabitants were seen as inconsequential, a species on the fringe of the cosmos whose presence could be safely ignored. Unbeknownst to humanity, their insignificant planet had become the backdrop to an ancient rivalry. But as the struggle between the Zorgons and Phantoms intensified, the galactic powers drifted ever closer to Earth's solar system, unknowingly setting the stage for humanity's reluctant introduction to the cosmic stage. Chapter 2. Humanity's Brush with Destruction. Humanity was in a transitional phase, having recently mastered space travel but not yet reaching the technological threshold of faster-than-light capabilities. Earth's achievements in space exploration had brought optimism, but the stars remained distant and inaccessible. Little did humanity know that this progress would soon bring them face to face with beings far beyond their comprehension. One fateful day, Earth's surveillance systems detected unidentified objects approaching at incredible speeds. The International Space Agencies scrambled to assess the situation, identifying two large fleets engaged in a violent skirmish at the edge of their solar system. As the alien ships advanced, they breached Earth's outer orbit, setting off every alarm and plunging humanity into a frenzy of fear and confusion. The Zorgons and Phantoms, caught in the throes of battle, ignored Earth's desperate attempts at communication, dismissing the planet's rudimentary defense systems as irrelevant. Humanity watched in horror as powerful energy beams, exotic weaponry, and unimaginable destruction rained down in orbit. Cities around the globe froze as news broke of the battle raging just beyond the atmosphere, a sight both beautiful and terrifying. Earth's governments, panicked but resolute, realized that there was no escaping this threat. Every nation, regardless of past grievances, joined together in a united front. With no real defenses against such powerful forces, humanity turned to whatever technology they had, arming satellites and modifying spacecraft in a desperate attempt to push back the alien intruders. Scientists and engineers around the globe worked around the clock, retrofitting every available resource into crude but functional weaponry. There was no time for doubts, only action. Chapter 3. The First Stand. The alien fleets, damaged and distracted by each other, were oblivious to humanity's frantic efforts. Earth's improvised defenses might have seemed laughable to these ancient civilizations, but to humanity, this was a fight for survival. At the helm of Earth's resistance, a handful of brave astronauts, skilled pilots, and military personnel led a hastily formed coalition, ready to face an unknown enemy with unmatched courage. They launched jury-rigged ships, armed them with any form of weaponry they could muster, and steeled themselves for battle. Humanity's leaders made hard decisions, casting aside long-standing rivalries and pooling every resource they could gather. Though their technology was primitive in comparison, they had one weapon neither the Zorgons nor the Phantoms anticipated: sheer, unyielding determination. As the alien ships continued their deadly dance, exchanging blasts of energy and psionic attacks, Earth's forces moved forward, navigating the chaotic battlefield. They were underprepared, outmatched, and had no realistic hope of winning, but they fought nonetheless. Earth's citizens watched with bated breath as brave pilots defied the odds, launching desperate assaults against far superior ships. Makeshift fighters engaged in close-range attacks, finding and exploiting weaknesses in the alien designs. Wave after wave of human ships launched into the fray. Despite countless losses, humanity struck blow after blow, using ingenuity and brute force to disable key enemy systems. Earth's defenders pushed back, refusing to yield. The battle that should have ended in swift destruction instead dragged on, forcing the alien fleets to contend with a resilient and creative foe. Each human loss was met with renewed fervor, as survivors rallied around the shared mission to protect their home. Chapter 4: Humanity's First Victory. As the alien fleets limped out of Earth's orbit, humanity was left to take stock of what had just occurred. The initial shock gave way to a raw, resounding pride. Cities that had fallen silent during the conflict erupted in celebration, as people from every corner of the planet watched the skies and the scattered remnants of the alien invasion. For the first time, humanity had defended itself against beings far superior in strength and technology. The unlikeliest heroes emerged: fighter pilots, scientists, engineers, and the leaders who had risked everything. In the days that followed, humanity faced a bittersweet reckoning. Although they had pushed the aliens back, the cost had been high. Cities bore scars from the orbital attacks that had slipped past Earth's defenses. Families mourned those who had fallen in the battle, and communities organized efforts to provide support and rebuild. But underlying the grief was a sense of unity that hadn't been felt in generations. Old political rivalries had been set aside, replaced by a newfound respect for collective resilience. Leaders around the world met in emergency summits, striving to understand the significance of the battle and strategize for the future. Scientists, inspired by the raw alien technology left behind, pored over fragments of alien ships and debris with boundless curiosity. Laboratories across the globe became centers of innovation as researchers delved into the intricacies of alien alloys, power sources, and weapon systems. A new era had dawned, one in which humanity could no longer look to Earth alone for answers. Chapter 5: Earth Prepares for the Next Battle. The sense of urgency was palpable. Earth's leaders and citizens knew that it was only a matter of time before the Zorgons and Phantoms returned, likely with even greater force. Humanity, with its spirit and determination, had defied them once, but this victory would not go unchallenged. In response, Earth plunged headlong into preparation, determined to turn their primitive defenses into a galactic deterrent. Scientists and engineers faced grueling days and sleepless nights, working to reverse engineer the alien technology in hopes of giving Earth an edge. Alien wreckage was studied with a new sense of reverence. Even the smallest fragment was seen as a treasure trove of knowledge. The breakthrough came with the discovery of advanced materials that could be synthesized to reinforce Earth's defenses, making ships lighter and stronger than anything humanity had ever conceived. Energy weapons, once relegated to science fiction, became a new field of study, as Earth's brightest minds raced to understand how the aliens had harnessed and manipulated energy on such a scale. Meanwhile, Earth's militaries underwent a profound transformation. Nations set aside differences, consolidating their resources to establish a unified planetary defense force. This unprecedented collaboration led to the creation of new spacefaring vessels, designed for agility, endurance, and firepower. The pilots who had fought in the first battle became instructors and mentors, training a new generation of warriors who would serve as Earth's defenders in the skies and beyond. The people of Earth were inspired. Artists and storytellers captured the bravery of those who had fallen, while teachers reminded their students of the courage that lay within humanity's heart. Amid the grief, there was a sense of purpose. Children dreamed of becoming part of this new legacy, and industries shifted their focus to support the war effort. As Earth rallied together, a profound shift occurred. Humanity no longer saw itself as a solitary species. They had become citizens of the cosmos, a people with a responsibility to protect their planet from forces beyond their comprehension. Chapter 6: The Second Invasion. Just as Earth's new fleet was reaching operational capacity, another invasion force approached, this time larger and far more dangerous. The Zorgons, humiliated by their prior defeat, had returned with a vengeance. Their armada was composed of heavily armed warships, escorted by nimble fighters, and guarded by newly developed shielding systems to counteract Earth's weaponry. This was no longer a simple conquest for resources. This was a mission of vengeance, a display meant to extinguish the spark of resistance Earth had ignited. The Planetary Defense Command sprang into action, mobilizing every ship and defense system at their disposal. Fighter squadrons launched into space with fierce determination, each pilot knowing that the survival of their world depended on their courage. As Earth's fleet moved to engage the enemy, they were confronted with the Zorgon flagship, an awe-inspiring warship that dwarfed everything in its path. The flagship's sheer size and power sent waves of dread through Earth's defenders, but they steeled themselves, ready to meet the challenge. The battle that ensued was unlike anything humanity had experienced. Earth's fighters engaged the Zorgon ships in intense dogfights, relying on newfound tactics and strategies designed to exploit weaknesses in the alien designs. The Zorgons, however, had learned from their previous encounter and countered with brutal efficiency, using formation strategies that threatened to overwhelm Earth's defenders. As ships clashed in close quarters, explosions lit up the darkness, sending shockwaves that could be felt on Earth below. Humanity's defenders fought with all they had. Ships that had been recently retrofitted with alien-inspired shielding technology held their own against the Zorgon onslaught. Pilots maneuvered through chaotic space, dodging enemy fire and returning it with precision and fury. The battle reached its climax when Earth's flagship, a monumental achievement of engineering and collaboration, engaged the Zorgon leader in a one-on-one showdown, its captain fully aware that the outcome of this fight would determine the fate of the planet. In a daring move, Earth's flagship rammed the Zorgon command ship, crippling its engines and rendering it helpless. The Zorgon fleet, now leaderless and demoralized, was forced to retreat. Once again, Earth had defied the odds, securing a hard-won victory at a staggering cost. Chapter 7. The Galaxy Takes Notice. The news of Earth's victories rippled across the galaxy, sparking a reaction far beyond what humanity had anticipated. Alien civilizations who had long been at odds with the Zorgons saw Earth's victory as a symbol of hope. Some reached out in secret, sending emissaries and diplomats to Earth with offers of alliances, technologies, and knowledge in exchange for cooperation. Others, however, saw humanity's rise as a threat, whispering of plans to eliminate this new contender before they could tip the balance of power in the galaxy. For the first time, Earth's leaders faced the complexities of galactic politics. Emissaries from distant planets arrived, each bringing different philosophies, cultures, and agendas. Some came bearing gifts and knowledge, while others presented demands cloaked in the guise of friendship. Humanity found itself walking a tightrope, balancing the need for alliances with the risk of falling under the influence of civilizations far more advanced and cunning. In secret, alliances began to take shape. Earth scientists exchanged information with alien scientists, pushing their understanding of the universe to new limits. Weapons and ships were developed in secret, hidden from prying eyes as humanity prepared for whatever alliances or conflicts the future would bring. And with each passing day, Earth's place in the galaxy solidified, drawing attention, admiration, and animosity from factions that had never before taken notice of the young species. But even as Earth's leaders grappled with these newfound complexities, the reality remained clear. They had stepped into a galaxy governed by forces that had operated in shadows for millennia. The question was no longer whether humanity would survive, but how they would shape the future of the galaxy itself. Chapter 8. Humanity's New Destiny. As Earth adjusted to its newfound status in the galaxy, a profound realization took hold. Humanity had become a force to be reckoned with, a species capable of not only defending itself, but shaping the future of the cosmos. Across the world, young people enrolled in new academies dedicated to interstellar defense and diplomacy, studying everything from alien languages to advanced engineering and tactics. The sacrifices of those who had fought in the initial invasions were immortalized in statues, memorials, and teachings that inspired the next generation. Earth continued to reverse engineer and innovate, creating new technologies that would secure their place among the stars. Faster-than-light travel, once a distant dream, became a tangible goal as scientists worked alongside alien allies to understand and replicate their methods. Mining outposts and research stations were established on distant planets within Earth's reach, each representing a step toward a future where humanity would no longer be confined to a single world. But the galaxy was watching. Ancient powers, both seen and unseen, regarded Earth with caution. Earth's leaders knew that their actions would set a precedent, that every alliance, every technological advancement, and every victory would shape the galaxy's future. Humanity had forged a destiny that was both exhilarating and perilous, aware that the galaxy's gaze was upon them. As Earth's fleets patrolled the edges of their solar system, Prepared for whatever new threats might emerge, a message echoed through the cosmos. Humanity had arrived. They were no longer a species to be overlooked or dismissed. In the vast, uncertain reaches of space, they were ready to defend their home, explore the unknown, and one day take their place among the stars. Chapter 9. The Dawn of a New Era. In the quiet after the storm, Earth hung in the balance of hope and uncertainty. The scars of previous battles lingered, but the resilience of humanity shone brighter than ever. The recent victory over the Zorgons had not only fortified their defenses, but ignited a fire within the hearts of people across the planet. Now, it was time for humanity to navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries that stretched across the galaxy as they prepared for the challenges that lay ahead. In the bustling command center of the unified Galactic Defense Force, leaders from across Earth gathered to discuss their future. The room was filled with a diverse array of voices, each representing different nations and ideologies, but united by a common purpose: to safeguard their world and chart a path among the stars. The holographic displays projected images of distant planets, diagrams of new technologies, and intelligence reports on potential threats. Among them stood Captain Aria Lander, the celebrated pilot who had led many successful missions against the Zorgons. She had become a symbol of hope, her bravery inspiring a new generation of defenders. "Today, we are not just defending Earth," Captain Lander began, her voice steady and resolute. "We are forging our destiny. It's time to establish our presence in the galaxy, not as conquerors, but as allies. We must show that humanity stands for unity, resilience, and cooperation." The room erupted in applause, but the atmosphere was tinged with apprehension. Commander Thomas Grayson, a stern figure known for his strategic brilliance, raised his hand to speak. "While we strive for alliances, we cannot ignore the threats that still loom. The Zorgons may have retreated, but they will regroup. We've heard whispers of a coalition forming among alien factions who see our rise as a direct challenge to their power." Grayson's words hung in the air, reminding everyone of the stakes involved. Discussions turned to establishing a council of representatives from newly allied civilizations, aiming to create a framework for interstellar cooperation. It was a bold move, one that could either unite the galaxy or draw humanity into a deeper conflict. Captain Lander knew that their best chance at survival lay in forming genuine relationships, but the galaxy was rife with mistrust and fear. As days turned into weeks, diplomatic envoys were dispatched to several neighboring systems. The first meetings were tense, with alien leaders eyeing humanity warily. Many had never encountered humans before, and those who had often viewed them as little more than an upstart species. However, Lander's team emphasized their commitment to mutual benefit, sharing technology, knowledge, and cultural exchange. Slowly, skepticism began to give way to cautious curiosity. In parallel, the engineers of Earth worked tirelessly on new ship designs that would give humanity an edge in both diplomacy and combat. The ships became symbols of hope, a reflection of their newfound identity as interstellar citizens. Each vessel was adorned with the emblem of Earth, a blue planet encircled by stars, representing unity and peace. However, as alliances formed, the threats from the shadows became more apparent. A group of alien marauders, calling themselves the Thrax, launched surprise raids on the outposts established by Earth and its allies, sowing chaos and discord. These attacks were calculated, aimed at inciting fear and division among the newly formed coalition. It was a clear message: not everyone welcomed humanity's rise. Captain Lander and her team knew they had to act decisively. A plan was set in motion to establish a defensive perimeter around the outposts and strengthen the coalition's resolve against the Thrax threat. It was time to show that humanity would not back down in the face of adversity. The call for unity resonated throughout the ranks, and volunteers from across Earth and its allies stepped forward to join the defense. As they prepared for the upcoming battle, Lander reflected on the journey that had brought humanity to this pivotal moment. It was a journey marked by sacrifices, struggles, and ultimately triumphs. The memories of fallen comrades fueled her determination, reminding her that the fight was not just for Earth, but for the very essence of what it meant to be human. On the day of the engagement, the coalition fleet gathered in a vast formation, a breathtaking sight of color and power against the backdrop of space. Lander stood on the bridge of the flagship, the command center alive with energy. The tension was palpable as they awaited the arrival of the Thrax forces, and she felt the weight of responsibility pressing upon her shoulders. She had to inspire her crew, to remind them of the importance of their mission. "Today we are more than soldiers, we are a symbol of hope," she announced, her voice strong and unwavering. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for every world that seeks peace and freedom. Together, we will show the Thrax that unity is our greatest weapon." The fleet surged forward, each ship moving in harmony, united by a common goal. The initial skirmish with the Thrax revealed their ruthlessness. Ships darted in and out, launching missiles that streaked across the darkness of space. But the Coalition fleet, now trained in coordinated maneuvers, struck back with precision, utilizing their advanced technology and tactics. The battle raged, the void of space illuminated by flashes of energy and explosions. As Lander engaged in combat, her focus narrowed to the task at hand, her heart pounding in sync with the adrenaline coursing through her veins. In the chaos, she spotted a Thrax flagship leading a charge directly toward the center of the Coalition fleet. With a quick decision, she rallied her squadron to intercept, urging her pilots to push their ships to the limits. The clash with the flagship was fierce, and in that moment, Lander found herself locked in a deadly dance with the enemy's captain. The two ships moved like predators, anticipating each other's moves, trading fire with a ferocity that sent ripples through the surrounding battlefield. As her squadron provided cover, Lander's resolve solidified. She would not allow the Thrax to shatter their hard-won alliances. With a calculated maneuver, she led her team in a surprise flanking attack, catching the Thrax flagship off guard. The resulting explosion sent shockwaves through the Thrax ranks, causing disarray among their forces. It was a turning point in the battle, and the Coalition seized the moment, rallying together to drive the Thrax back, solidifying their position in the galaxy. In the aftermath of the battle, the Coalition stood victorious. They had faced their fears, united against a common threat, and emerged stronger for it. Celebrations erupted across the ships, the sound of victory echoing through the vastness of space. For the first time, humanity and its allies had proven that they could not only defend their worlds, but also protect one another. However, Lander knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was vast and fraught with challenges, and Earth's new alliances would require nurturing and vigilance. In the days that followed, diplomatic efforts intensified. The Coalition met to discuss the future, working together to draft a charter for interstellar peace, a declaration that would solidify their commitment to mutual support, cooperation, and understanding. As Lander signed the charter alongside representatives from various alien worlds, she felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. They were laying the groundwork for a new era, one in which humanity would no longer be isolated, but part of a larger galactic community. It was a recognition of their place in the universe, a promise that they would fight not only for their survival, but for the survival of all who sought peace. In the months that followed, the Coalition flourished. Outposts were established across different systems, trade routes opened, and cultural exchanges blossomed. Humanity shared its stories, art, and innovations, while learning from the diverse cultures of their allies. The galaxy was alive with collaboration, each day bringing new discoveries and deeper connections. But amidst the newfound prosperity, the shadows lingered. The Thrax were not the only threat in the galaxy, and whispers of other factions began to circulate. Those who viewed the Coalition's rise as a threat to their dominion. Lander and her fellow leaders knew that vigilance was paramount. They had built something precious, and they would protect it with every ounce of their strength. As she gazed out at the stars from the bridge of her flagship, Captain Lander understood that humanity's journey was far from over. They had stepped into a new chapter, a vast narrative that spanned the galaxy. With hope in her heart and determination in her soul, she resolved to guide humanity forward, ready to confront whatever challenges awaited them in the uncharted depths of space. And so, the dawn of a new era began, one filled with promise, cooperation, and the unbreakable spirit of humanity, forever reaching for the stars. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.